Helping Seniors Television, all about improving quality of life for seniors. If you're a senior, know a senior, or plan to be a senior, then this show is for you. It's all about helping you develop your own aging plan so you can age actively and with dignity. Helping Seniors Television from the Helping Seniors Network of information, education, and resources. Welcome to today's edition of Helping Seniors Television from the Helping Seniors Network. Whether you are caring for a senior, are a senior, or just plan to be one, we hope you'll enjoy today's program. In-home personal services is an important topic and an important service to learn about. How to age safely and successfully at home with a little bit of extra assistance. Helping Seniors TV host and longtime senior advocate Joe Steckler visits with Dr. Christina Paff and Steve Paff of In-Home Personal Services about the services that they offer which can help aging at home.
This is Joe Steckler, and welcome to our latest edition of Helping Seniors. Our show today is about in-home personal care services, and that's the title of the company, In-Home Personal Care. And the owners are, I'll do it first, Christina Paff and Steve Paff. Welcome, Steve.
How are you, Joe?
Welcome, Christina.
Hi, Joe.
I'm not even going to go there with kidding today. I'm going to stay away from that. But it's really nice, Steve and Christina, to be able to talk to people that have an affinity for the type of work that you do, and you bring a lot of background, a lot of personal experience to the business of providing care in homes, and that's so important because when people are sick or they're getting older and you're starting to rely on somebody else more to take care of it. It becomes a personal type thing where not everybody can accept that kind of care, and you find that, I'm sure, in your work. So let's just tell our viewing audience what in-home personal care is, what it does, and I'll let you talk first, Steve, and then because Christina will know what you didn't say, and she'll add to it. She'll correct you.
That's right. In-home personal services, what we provide is non-skilled in-home care to really anyone that needs it. We do hands-on personal care, light housework, transportation, meal prep. Really, the sky is the limit, as far as the services that we can provide. And we've pretty much, I think, done almost everything under the sky. And it's really, the thing that's really nice about what we do is we custom kind of cater our plans to the individual. So if Mrs. Smith just needs someone that can take her to her doctor's appointments, we just do that. If Mr. Jones needs someone that, to come in and straighten up his house and cook him meals, we do that. We can do medication reminding. Really anything that would help a person get through their daily routine, that's really what we do.
But I will bet that, having said what you just said, when you go into your clients' homes, generally speaking, the people you send in there will find more things that the client needs that they just didn't realize from the protective side. Christina, can you talk about that?
Oh, definitely. We'll go into somebody's house and they'll say, oh, I just want help with transportation. And we'll go there for the first visit, pick them up, and realize they need a little housekeeping, or they weren't ready and dressed when we got there, so we needed to help them get dressed. And so things snowball, and that's why what we do is so cool, because we customize it. A client calls and it's not, well, we have to provide A, B, C, and D for you to have our services. We can provide whatever unique little combination of what we provide. So whether or not that's 1 week we're helping with housekeeping and the next week we're taking you to a doctor's appointment, we can do whatever is necessary. We have a lot of clients that come to us with one thing, and 3 months later, their care plan is totally different.
Even 3 days later, sometimes
totally different.
They realize right away that, hey, I need help bathing.
They like having somebody there because it's just pure companionship too. They're just lonely sometimes. And just having somebody there to talk to while they're making breakfast, or talk to, should I wear this shirt or this shirt? You don't realize how that little bit of personal touch goes that much further, and it keeps them happier, which limits the progression to depression, to, dehydration, not eating as well, which just leads to medical problems. So we're helping to keep them out of the hospital by keeping them happy, along with their independence, because now they feel like they can do these things because somebody's there doing it with them and they feel safe. We're all about helping and doing it for them. However, we really like to have them do it, and we're just there to provide that extra supervision or assistance.
Well, one of the things that you do is you help train the people to do things for themselves. But generally speaking, when you're called in for help, generally speaking, the people are going to continue to need your help.
Yes.
Generally speaking.
Yes.
And because it's just a fact of life. But I think this is something that are one of the most misunderstood things by the viewing audience is that sometimes it's not that we don't understand the type of care that's needed, it's that we're not ready or willing to accept that kind of care. And how do you two deal with that kind of a problem?
Well, it's hard for a lot of people to get over that hump of acknowledging that they need help. We do a free in-home assessment, so one of our team leaders, or Christina, has done this.
You do a lot of this, right?
She does, yes. We'll come to your home, we'll speak with you, your family, whoever's, you feel comfortable speaking with us. And, when we go into a home, we don't always leave with a new client. Sometimes we just go in and give advice. And if that's good enough to help them get through to that next level, that's okay with us. We're more about educating the individual and making sure that they are aware of all of their options so that when it is time for them to make a decision like this, because it's a big decision, it's a significant change. But when they're ready for that, they're educated and ready, and prepared mentally and kind of emotionally too,
right,
with what they're going to have to go through with this process.
But your background, Steve, is you're a marketing person.
I am a marketer, yes.
But your background is completely different, Christina.
Yes.
How about when you talk about you going on and talking to somebody about the type of care and everything that they need and the family comfort level, explain to our viewers what your background is and why you bring a different, I think, since I already know what it is,
yes.
I'm aware that you bring a totally different level of education to the job of seeing what persons might need. And that's why I think it's so important that the viewing audience understand that. So go ahead.
Definitely. My background is I'm a home care physical therapist. So my other job as a physical therapist is all about returning people to their prior level of function, safety, strengthening, proper walking patterns, proper techniques to stand up, get in bed, get out of bed. And that all ties into what they do on an everyday, daily basis. If you can't do those things properly, you're at a safety risk. And that's where the private side of it, non-skilled, non-medical care comes in, because we can help reinforce those things that physical therapist, that nurse, that occupational therapist is training them in doing. And we can help with the follow-through to keep it going, which helps when I come in and I'm in as just from in-home. I can come in and notice things from my physical therapy side that helps to bring light to their eyes of maybe other things that they may need help with. I really, though, feel it's more on our caregivers, because our caregivers are so good at going in and recognizing, hey, I did this, but I noticed I needed to do this. I hope that's okay. More than likely, 9 out of 10 times, our clients are like, oh my gosh, I didn't even realize that needed to be done. So our caregivers are very good at noticing those extra things that need to be done and helping to fix that so they can live that safe, independent life. And I think the biggest problem sometimes, as you're saying, emotionally and psychologically, even sometimes having us come in, is that people think once we're in the door, we're staying forever. We're not staying forever. We have a lot of cases that are what we call respite. They go into the hospital, they go to rehab, and they just don't feel safe coming home right away. I'm home, but I can't get into that shower by myself. That tub is too high. We can come in for the next month, 2 weeks, 6 weeks, whatever it is, until you feel comfortable, till you have enough therapy that you feel like you can do it by yourself, and then you don't need us anymore. We don't mind taking a step back if you don't need us anymore. So just because you're calling us in to help doesn't mean, that's it, I've lost it, I now need help, I'm never gaining it back. we have a lot of cases where they can gain it back, or we even scale down services because now they just mainly need transportation help instead of help with getting dressed every morning.
Well, let's take a case of a person that has been in the hospital and their health has really declined, and they're at a point in their life when their overall situation is deteriorating.
Okay.
And the family knows that they need continual care. They need somebody to be in the house all the time. And they can no longer, they don't feel that they can commit because they're working, and they've got a couple of choices. At this point, you can have a service like yours come in,
Yes.
or you can put them in an assisted living facility. They're not ready for a nursing home.
Right.
But between what you can offer or what they can offer in a home, it's either between the type of care you can do because of the fact that you have to be able to give a bath, and skilled care, or not skilled care, but assisted living care, an assisted living facility. If a person goes into an assisted living facility, you can find a range from $3,000 to $7,000.
Yeah.
$3,000, you're going to get not much. You're going to get minimum.
Yeah,
Bare
there's
minimum.
different levels of care
Really
based
care.
on what you need.
Because there are different levels of care, and not only in what they can do, but what they're willing to do and what they're trained to do.
And what their staff capacity allows them to be able to do. At most at all assisted living facilities, you're not getting one-on-one care either. You're going to get that help with a shower, have somebody bring your meds, but you're not getting that one CNA per one client or one resident.
Right, but if you got this person that says, I'm going to put them in an assisted living facility at $5,000,
Right.
but you could go, and they may not need that all the care that $5,000 is going to give them.
Right.
They only may need a couple hours in the morning, or an hour in the morning, and an hour at night, and help with food. So then
you can customize all of that.
You can customize that,
Yeah.
and you can actually. You could probably, my guess is, what do you charge for your service, your basic cost?
Our basic cost for 3 hours or more is $18 an hour. 1 hour of services is $25 an hour, and 2 hours consecutive is $20 an hour. So we try to recommend that people do a minimum of 3 hours. We don't require it, but we recommend it because what we've found is that oftentimes, really 10 times out of 10, when we get into someone's home for an hour, we're there for 2 hours or more, and we leave and things are unfinished. And so it makes more sense to start at the 3 hour. We can always back it off, but we recommend that. But again, you're talking $18 an hour, so you're less than $60 for 3 consecutive hours of service. People
pretty much can get somebody up in the morning, dressed, a shower, breakfast, med reminders, some light house work to like clean the bathroom after they got ready, clean the kitchen up, take garbage out. Your typical normal morning
less than
routine.
$2,000 a month.
Oh, absolutely.
Less
Absolutely.
than.
Yeah.
Now, let's say if a person needs some help at night, you might add another $1,000 or $1,200 to it.
Right.
But you're still in the $3,000 a month range for the person being happy.
Right.
Are in their own home.
Exactly.
And as long as they're safe and they can do this, your people can come in and prepare a meal such that all they'd have to do is get it out of the refrigerator.
Exactly.
And if they fix a meal for them at night, they might just need a sandwich at lunch. They don't need a big meal. And
Right.
I think that's one of the advantages to the type of service that you have, that you can sort of help regulate the people where they don't become gaining too much weight through overeating and with nobody monitoring
And eating
them.
junk. I mean, we've talked about.
But also just eating in general.
Right.
Some clients will forget to eat, not want to eat. They don't have appetite to eat. So having somebody to sit there with them and say, hey, let's have lunch is sometimes a good thing to get them to eat so they don't become dehydrated, they don't become failure to thrive, which puts them back into the hospital, because eating is one of the common things that when you go home and you're by yourself, if you don't feel like eating, you're not going to eat.
I agree.
I could maybe last longer on no food than somebody who's 80 years old. You have a few days of that and you're going to start getting weak, falling more, hit your head, break a bone. So there's a lot that can be customized, But yeah, we can come in 3 hours in the morning, help get them up, 3 hours in the evening, and they're still at home, which is their own home environment.
Yep.
We do have clients, though, that we've made the recommendation to go to assisted living because we don't feel like the hours that we're in the house or what they're willing to let us in the house is sufficient to keep them safe. So sometimes it's a matter of what is best for that client, too. Some don't mind increasing our hours and letting us come in more to help. Others just don't want it. They want to get out of there.
Okay, let's say that somebody wanted the 2 hours, or say 3 hours, and then one day a week they wanted 3 hours, and then that included a shopping trip.
Yep.
So you can go in with transportation. The same person that does the transportation can fix the meal, can
Yep.
tidy the house up. There's a lot that an able-bodied person can do in 3 hours.
Absolutely. We have cases where they only do shopping. We've got a couple situations where the people like to go to Walmart once or twice a week. We're with them for 3 hours.
That time is their time.
That's their time.
If they want to do all the shopping and we're just there, it may take them 3 hours at Walmart. We have other clients that just go, here's my shopping list, just go do it. And we're in and back in an hour and a half. So it's what they want to do in that time frame. It's completely up to them.
Question: how long have you been in business now?
We've been in
year.
business for a little over a year. We celebrated our year in March of this year.
So you've been here roughly a year. How many clients do you think you have now?
It fluctuates anywhere between, at the moment, 20 and 30 cases that we have on right now.
That's pretty good growth.
Yeah, I mean, we started.
We've tried to do a very measured growth because while the marketer in him would love to probably have a larger growth curve, the therapist in me and the quality of care has tried to slow it because I want to make sure that we can handle the growth. I want to make sure we have good quality caregivers with good team to back them up to know what is going on, have everybody handled. Because when you come on as a client of In-Homes, you're part of our family at that point in time.
Do you do therapy type stuff yourself in the homes?
I do, but totally through a
with our
separate company,
with
not
a
with
different
In-Home.
agency.
Wait a minute, now say what?
Not with In-Home, with a total other company. It's another hat that I wear.
Oh, so that's not part of in-home care?
No.
No, that would be considered a skilled therapy.
So you're a skilled therapist, and you did this under another hat?
Yes. Yep.
Okay,
And we
I
have
didn't
2
know
little
that.
girls at home, so we wear many
Okay.
hats.
Okay.
And a puppy.
All right. It's kind of interesting because in-home personal care, people, you see so many needs, and people come. And one question I had is that you came here to Brevard County. Did you come here because you knew somebody in Brevard County, or did you come here because it was a corporate decision, or why did you?
We did a lot of research. We knew we wanted to come to Florida. We're from Chicago originally, and we
3 blizzards
wanted
later,
to
I
get out of
wasn't
the
staying
cold,
any longer.
and we wanted to be near the beach. So we did a lot of homework on the state of Florida. We knew we wanted to be here, and
We were lucky to come up with Melbourne and to move into this area.
We called
love
around
it.
a lot, and it just seems everywhere that we spoke with said that it's kind of time for a change. And I think
A fresh perspective.
That's our goal, is to bring a change.
But in-home personal care is part of a larger organization.
We are. We're a franchise. The corporate is in Chicago. They're primarily based in the Midwest. They're all over Chicagoland, Iowa. There is one in Texas, two in Texas.
I'm not sure.
And then here, and they're planning, I believe, on expanding it 6 or 7 more this year still.
If a person watching their show today, what are the services that, I don't know if it's the correct way to say it, what are you limited to, or what are you capable of doing? What is it?
A lot of times it's easier for us to tell people, you tell me what you want me to do, and I can tell you if I can or cannot do it. Because the list of what we can do is much longer than the list that we cannot do. But basically, in a nutshell, we cannot inject medications. We can provide medication reminders, help to remind you to take your pills and help you in that aspect. We cannot give you medicine or inject anything. And we cannot make any assessments. We can't come in the door and assess the situation and say,
From a medical perspective,
that we need to do X, Y, and Z. We are in as a non-skilled, non-medical. We are there to help with the normal daily routine. Now, our caregivers are trained, if the situation is kind of hairy, to call us, call 911, call a doctor's office to describe whatever situation is going on so they can be told by a trained medical professional what needs to be the next step.
Okay. Do you work with families, like extended families that live out of the area?
All
yeah.
the time. All the time.
Email communication, phone calls. We have some families that just like an update every week. So whether or not our caregiver is, talking to them once a week when they're out there at the house, or they're sending us or our office an email saying, how mom doing this week? How'd she do with this, or how'd she do with that? Or can I get an update on her doctor's appointments? We keep very close contact with families as long as the client says it's okay too, because the client is our first and utmost concern.
Okay.
And they need to let us know if it's okay to speak with son in Chicago, daughter in New York, son in California.
Are all your employees bonded?
The company itself is licensed and insured. We carry more than the state required insurances. Our CNAs and home health aides are all certified. They go through a training process. The CNAs are certified through the state. It's a state licensing program where they take a test. They're employees, so our insurance covers them for any incidences that.
So if an accident happened, then
it goes through corporate, through the corporate.
All of this is covered under insurance.
Yes, all of it's covered under our insurances.
What kind of payments do you accept?
We accept credit card, check, ACH, draft payments.
Cash.
We've taken cash. It's not preferred, but we have taken it. There is
long-term care insurance.
Long-term care insurance.
Well, I'm thinking in terms of Medicaid or.
We do not work with Medicare, Medicaid. That's more on the skilled side of things.
How about long-term care insurance?
Long-term care we do accept, and it's a really easy process. We've dealt with quite a few in the last year, and we're very involved with the application and
we
getting
don't
them the
mind
information
calling
that
and
they need.
speaking with the long-term care insurance company.
What I was hoping that I'm not going to fish around for it because a lot of people have long-term care insurance. They do not realize that they already have the type of service that.
Right.
I think one of our first 10 clients we had, I was in her house and she had her wallet all laid out, and I said, "What kind of insurance do you have?" She goes, "Oh, I just found this. I don't know what it is." And it was in one of her drawers. And I called her daughter and I go, "Your mom has long-term care insurance. We need to call and find out what her coverage is. Get the pamphlet put together, sent out." And we were very involved because the daughter had not really a clue of what she was doing with the long-term care. And we helped kind of navigate through the mess and figure out what was needed. And she got a lot of her care reimbursed because that was what she was allowed to have.
Well, see, that's the point. When you do a show like this, you don't know how much the families know about what they've signed their name to. And generally speaking, you go through a church and you get a caregiver off of a bulletin board as somebody comes in and provides a service. You don't go to a professional outfit, so the professional doesn't get a chance to ask you what you already have in place. So you miss out so many times.
Right.
And it's just a sad thing to find out somebody that shelled out thousands of dollars for care and then find out that they were entitled to this care under a policy that they had covered.
And that is when we do our free in-home assessment, that is one of the first questions that we ask is, do you have a long-term care policy?
And a lot of times they say, I don't know.
I don't know. And then we help them figure it out.
And they show us the cards in their wallet and they go, what are all of these and what do they provide me? And we a lot of times can pick out if there's a long-term care company name in there. And it's just a phone call. And then you just go from there. And that's where a lot of them get very overwhelmed because it's a lot of work. You got to wait for a package to arrive in the mail. You got to have a doctor fill out some stuff. We have to fill out some stuff. There's a lot that goes into it. And we can help navigate that for them, which helps to decrease their stress.
I know years ago they had a thing, if I mention the word nursing notes, you know what I'm familiar with?
Yeah.
Are you required to keep nursing notes or a care plan?
Yes, all of our clients have care plans, and our care plans are very detailed to what the state will allow us to do, what our license is covering us to do. Our notes we do on a daily basis. So every time a caregiver goes into that home or into their room, they have to fill out a note of what they do for that client during those hours. Okay. And we keep that on file. So if an insurance company ever needed it, if a doctor wanted to know what's going on, we've been able to catch sometimes pneumonia, urinary tract infections, because we've noticed an increase in assistance needed with certain tasks, or, client hasn't been able to go out the past few times. It's because it's hard to breathe and they don't feel well. And so the daily notes, and our daily notes are very detailed. It's a checkbox system with a paragraph section where they can write things. And we educate all of our caregivers that the paragraph does not have to be what you did with them. It could be, Mrs. Smith was in a great mood today. We did this. We had so much fun. She loves to get her nails painted, or whatever, because it helps give us an idea of what that person is all about, and to then move to the next level.
Well, where that comes in, Christina and Steve, where that comes, I think, is so important is when you are caring for an extended family, a patient. The family doesn't see their loved one that often.
Right.
So if it becomes necessary to go to a doctor, then you have the notes that your caregiver has made, and you take those to the doctor so the doctor can read them then?
Yep. Well, not necessarily so the doctor can read them. What we've done in the past with patients that need to go to the doctor's office, and we have loved ones out of state or out of the city that want to know what's going on, we'll send 2 people from the office with them, whether or not it's myself and that caregiver, or that caregiver and one of our team leaders. So there's another set of ears on that to be able to hear the information, to be able to provide it back. A lot of doctor's offices will be able to print off, a visit summary or whatever from that doctor's visit that we can then email to the loved one so they can have it. A lot of times we're quicker than the doctor's office, unfortunately, faxing it over to them, to the family member, because they just have so much going on. But we could bring the notes if necessary, but most doctors want to just hear it from us. They want to hear it from that caregiver of what's going on.
You see how fast the time is going.
It flew. I know. I just saw that.
But that's an advantage, because it means that you two know exactly what you're talking about. So I hope that our viewers have paid attention to what you both said and the questions I've asked. Because what's your phone number? How many people would contact you?
You can get a hold of us at 321-984-0706.
And if you have any questions, call and ask.
Yes.
Okay, we're out of time, but I want to thank you, and thank you, viewer, for watching, because I hope that you've enjoyed Steve and Christina. I'm Joe Steckler. Thank you for joining our program today. I'd like to remind you that our senior information line is available to you at 321-473-7770. There you can get help and direction that could be helpful for your specific situation or circumstances. The work of helping seniors is very important, but we can't do it alone. That is why our sponsors here in Brevard County are so important. I'd like to thank our many area sponsors, businesses and medical providers who support the mission of helping seniors that help us carry the cost of our media efforts. If you'd like to join us either as a business partner or simply donate as an individual, we would welcome your call at 321-473-7770. You are always welcome to visit our website at www.helpingseniorsofbrevard.org. Thanks so much for your help. It does make a difference.